So as you might have noticed in the Delta silo, I wasn't using the ACS-12. Why? Because it sucks. He was kind of ranged, and yeah, this is where a shotgun obviously isn't showing itself from the best side. Damage falls off quite hard. So there I definitely wanted to have something with a little bit more range. I don't really have a good bingo build. That might have been a good choice there as well. So I went for my good old friend, the Last Valor. And you know what is really beautiful about this one? It's almost using the same pieces as the ACS-12 build, which almost makes it that you are getting two belts for the price of one. Let's say it like that, right? So of course, as a primary weapon, you are going to be using the Last Valor with the accessories, the hammer compensator, the compact reflex sight, the elite vertical grip, and the extended rifle mag. In terms of the mods, we are running here the Shrapnel Souvenir. Dude, again, what a complex name. With a crit damage, ideally you want to have it Shrapnel and not violence. But yeah, I don't have it, so here we are again with crit damage and weapon damage. So, in case you don't know, it's the more damage types you're getting in there, the better. When you're stacking too much of one damage type, you're gonna have so-called diminishing returns. That means that you're getting less for what you're actually spending. So, if you're spending 15 crit damage for all 6 mods, it's not going to be that much damage if you're going to mix in the Shrapnel, for example. But yeah, optimizing builds in Once Human takes so much time. Let's move on to the DE wildfire. Similar to the ACS-12, we're using it to apply the vulnerability, so we're using here the vulnerability amplifier as well. And then, as I said, for the armor parts, we're using again 4 pieces of the Lone Wolf set, then 1 pieces of the Bastille, and that's of course different because here we are using the gas tight helmet to get more for our shrapnel boosts. Alternatively, dude, can't speak today. You also could use the beret. It actually depends on the enemy. It sometimes outperforms the gas titan helmet. So yeah, that's definitely not a bad choice if you don't want to invest the 8k star chrome to get the gas titan helmet when you already have the beret. In terms of the mods for your armor, we of course are gonna be looking at Fateful Strike, again with the weapon damage and the crit damage. And don't get confused because here it says we cannot deal weak spot damage, okay? Why I'm mentioning this is because on the Lone Wolf mask we run Shrapnel Carnage that says Shrapnel a weak spot hit, weight 100% and the damage is plus 25%, okay? We still can hit the weak spot. We don't do the specific additional weak spot damage, but that doesn't matter. We're not doing the additional shrapnel damage because we're still hitting the weak spot technically with our shrapnels, which of course smooths in perfectly with the Shrapnel Souvenir. This is how we are keeping our magazine relatively stacked. Because here, when the shrapnel, very important, the shrapnel, you can't hit it with the bullet directly, then it doesn't count. It's a weak spot, then we refill 1 bullet from our inventory. On the gloves, we are running the Cradle amplifier, pretty similar. Of course, cover advanced on the boots. And then for the jacket, it's of course our good old friend, the crit damage enhancement. And then on the pants, of course, it's that shot again. This is all for the mods. Then moving on to our Cradle. we are using a pistol, so we of course are using anti-gen. For our increased shrapnel damage, we are using tracking bullet. And then the deadly combo, of course, for that sweet 25% after we are triggering the bullet effect shrapnel. Of course, Deviation Master to get our Lone Wolf bonus from summoning a trusty body. Then the Lone Walker to get more healing. Tactical combo. It's not that useful as in the ACS 12 build, but there's a little bit of a lack of really good Cradle effects. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Then of course we are using a rifle, which is our Last Valor. So we're using the anti-void to get additional 15 weapon damage. And then the deviation energy defense. It's nice to have the shield, and we don't have any other damage sources from our Cradle. So this is the Cradle. And of course, last but not least, we are using our Canine Skull, our trusty Lone Wolf, to get the 43.2 damage weapon increase. Consider that it only has the effect when it can reach the target, okay? It says by the attack target. If it can't attack it, then it doesn't count. And your damage value will be higher the higher your skill rating is. So try to get a 5 rank 1 as well. And then last but not least, we get a nice beat from our dino. Nice, thank you. We get a food buff. I usually go for the canned meat to just get the character shrapnel damage, a 20% boost. It's really easy to make. You just can swap in any meat there, and as long as you have salt, which is really easy to get, you are good. It's even canned, so you don't have to worry about it spoiling. Well, you also can go for the ginger poppers, but it's way more difficult to get because you have to get the deviated ginger, then the beet and axe. So crocodile or bird axe. Yeah. But those are your two options for the food buffs.